What's going on, everyone? We are back. Some of us back from the island, La Isla Bonita, straight from Puerto Rico. And while in Puerto Rico, welcome to another show of the Inner Circle Podcast. We are your hosts. I am Charlie, and my best girlfriend Melanie.
Hola,
A
buenas
round of
noches.
a round of applause for our trip.
Give it up
how
for more applause.
how
That
are
needs
you?
to,
We need another one, right? We need another
yeah.
one. Let us go. This was a trip that we had here. We had here. Okay.
Well, first
How
of all, I'm great. I am exhausted. I don't know what to think. I miss you guys. I feel like it's so weird to be in Puerto Rico by myself right now. Um, yeah, it's been a whirlwind. That's all I can say. But I will say, yesterday when you guys all left, um, it was a little bit like bittersweet, but then I was like on work mode because obviously I had to stay for work.
hmm
Um, I had a trade show that part of Hilton Supply Management, and it was a success. More so was all the networking I did. Let's just say, girl, I might just end up moving to Puerto Rico. That was
Listen, I mean we've talked about it, and every time me and my brothers go and stuff, like we keep getting the same like thing, like yo, y'all should buy land and stuff. So and listen,
yeah.
there's five of us. We have to do something. We have to. We have my dad as well. We just
Yes.
have to like, we have to get it together and buy something. All five of us that we could have vacation to go to individually, and so on. Because I mean, something's gotta give. Every time we go, it's like there's just so much. I don't even know where to start with the trip. I don't even know where to start. But first of all, let's just say we all got there. It was a group of us.
Yeah.
I got there. I trickled in first on Wednesday, and then
hmm
little by little, everyone came. I think the last one to come. Did Raymond show up Thursday or Friday as well?
Raymond showed up on Flex showed up on Thursday. I
Yeah,
was the last one to arrive. I
Friday.
arrived Friday, and just thinking about it right now, the reason why I feel like I had like a shit storm happen to me.
Oh
Basically,
yeah.
I got detained by TSA, and like they pulled me off the line, and I did. It's not arrested, it's detained. They basically were like, you're not the person in your passport. There was an issue with my name, my government name on the passport. Long story short, after after praying for a long time and someone giving me grace and doing her job, God is good, and I was allowed to get on my flight. I literally boarded within 3 minutes of them sending like calling group A and B.
hmm
So I'm not gonna lie, when I got to my seat, I just sat down and I literally was so emotional. I was so shocked by what happened, angry at what happened, sad at the same time, and just the mere thought of me like not like missing the flight or not making it. I just was so like disillusioned. But I feel like I was feeling then what I would have felt now by like feeling really sad because this trip was amazing. I can't say it enough. I felt like it was meant to be and it was something that I needed. It was a healing trip for a lot of us.
Listen, it was meant to be, and there was something going into it. I just knew it in my heart. I don't want to get into how I get there, how I get around, but it could be anxiety related sometimes. And
Yeah.
the thing is, going into it, I knew I was gonna make it. I knew I was gonna make it. And although the first two flights I didn't make, I just knew it and I made it. Like I said, I was the first one to get there. Um, Out of
Yeah.
the whole group. It was a big group of us. My dad ended up being down there. As you said, Flex, who was, if you gotta know who Flex is, he was our first guest ever on the Inner Circle podcast. Check out what episode, I think episode
One.
3, 4. Oh, he wasn't on the first one, but definitely episode 3, 4, one of the handful first episodes. He made it. He surprised us because it was originally going to be only 4 of us brothers, but there's 5 of us all together. And my heart was full. I kept saying it throughout the whole weekend. My heart was full. My
Yeah.
dad was there. We got to visit and see, his father, our granddad. But so much. It was like you said, a healing trip, a very cathartic trip. Not only for me, but being in that trip, I gathered that we all going through it. And when we going
Yeah.
through it, it doesn't mean like, oh my God, going through it, whether relationship bullshit or end of relationships or new beginnings, new job opportunities. Um, we all going through some changes, and that's just the theme of what's going on. As you guys know, we be talking about, universe and this and that and the retrogrades, but that's really just the theme that's going on. You know what I mean? A lot of things are closing, new things are opening, but in able to really let those new doors open, some things do have to end, and sometimes it sucks, and sometimes it doesn't feel good, and it's like. But one of my main things, and it, let it flow. I'm letting it flow. I'm not forcing anything. Um, and this trip was just cathartic to be able to listen to different people going through things and me sharing what I was going through. I've come back with a renewed sense of like strength. I've
Yeah.
come with a renewed strength of you're gonna fucking respect me, and that's for anyone. I've come back with a new attitude and just the strength and just
Come on, Patty LaBelle. I
listen.
got a new
I
attitude.
got a new attitude, and I love as much as I love Puerto Rico. I ended up staying longer than I was
Yeah.
supposed to.
I was so happy you guys stayed.
I got there Wednesday, and I'm like, fuck that. And left yesterday. It's almost a whole week. Because I fucking deserve it, and the few of us that stayed behind fucking deserved it too. Um, Listen, it was a great trip. Um, how was it for you? Then again, there's more that we're gonna talk about some of the things we did and stuff and highlights. But you said healing for you. How was it? How did you feel like that? The healing and the for you.
For me, I've been wanting to, first of all, I've been wanting to travel with your brothers for a long time. We've grown up together, so to speak. Like, I've known them for such a long time. And
Okay.
I've seen you guys travel and come to Puerto Rico and like have your moments and stuff of like partying and then at the same time hanging out. And it just seemed like a fun vibe. So that was one thing that I was looking forward to. Another thing personally for me, I just needed a break. I needed a mental health break, and um work has been very over consuming, and it's been, I've over exacerbated myself when it comes to work. And I felt that also I wasn't really reaping the benefits of pay time off. I definitely was not giving myself a break. Yeah, it's great to like take a weekend and not do absolutely anything and just have a lazy weekend. But ultimately, like, I want to be able to enjoy my summer. I bust my ass all winter and spring. And this summer, I think we're ending it on a great note. And it also was great to actually work outside of my territory, like working outside of New York and like literally being here in the Caribbean. It's a moment of a lifetime. I don't think many people get to do that, especially in my job. So it was very healing for me.
For me, going into it, I've just been, in therapy and stuff, like with certain things, and that's just time. I've been journaling a lot, and again, I'm going through different changes in my personal life. More of my emotions are rising, and I'm being more communicative. It was cool to, open up to my brothers about some things, how I feel, or even
Yeah.
things from my childhood that has affected me as an adult that I'm trying to heal from and change from.
Yeah.
And listen, my first night I got there, I felt it. Just being by the beach and everything. I went to the beach in the dark by myself, with my little and my little
With
choo
your little
choo
what? Oh,
And
ski.
I prayed, and it was such a powerful prayer. I prayed to my mom, I prayed to God, um, and just throughout that whole weekend when we were certain, you know, areas and stuff, I just prayed, for things I want in the future for, and that was specific too with my prayers, and it was just I just felt those prayers like very like there was something different. I
They were
pray it every
realized,
day.
not realized. They were. You felt like they were heard.
Yeah, like I just thank you. And again, it was very healing to be able to open up and just express myself more. Whether to I feel like I had a lot of different conversations this weekend, but to my brothers or my dad or friends that were around, it was good just to open up and just hear other people too and give advice and connect because that's what it's about to connecting. Like we all going through something, and it was just good. But then it was fucking fun as well. What a fucking time we
Very
had! Like,
fun. I want to,
yo,
before we go into what the adventures that we had,
ooh,
I do want to give a shout out, obviously to you, but also to your brothers and everyone in general. Everyone was very like caring towards each other, and like it was literally no man left behind. Although sometimes some people did their own thing, but I felt very protected and I'm very happy because I that's one thing that I notice or like I take into account like who's going to make me feel safe around them when I'm traveling. And I felt very safe around you and your brothers and even in situations where I thought I was going to die, I was very happy to report that I didn't die.
yeah, if y'all follow us on our Instagram, the Inner Circle page, which if you don't, y'all should be. I hope y'all seen some of the behind the scenes that we took you to our El Yunque trip. It was Melody's first time. We had to do El Yunque. And then we couldn't leave this time. We couldn't leave Puerto Rico this time. This is your second time, second year in a row around the
Yeah.
same time. We didn't do El Yunque last time. There was no way that we was gonna leave and you not do El Yunque. I mean,
Yeah.
he was surprised, but I gotta give it up to you too. I'm very proud of you because I feel old Melanie would have complained or
Yeah.
been annoyed more. Where this time around, you just took it in and you enjoyed it. It was a time. We had a time. It was great. I loved the part in the river because it's pure. Hello, it's pure. If you could explain to the people,
Fine
like
water.
it's pure
Yeah.
water. It's like from the mountains up there in the rainforest, and we all had like a little moment to where
Yeah,
we
we had a little what we had a little what is it? The segment? We had a circle
released.
segment.
It was like a circle, yeah, a circle release thing where, that was amazing to do. But again, I felt like Gaga, like when Gaga, I don't know if y'all see that reel when Gaga's like party, bus, tour.
Club. Not
That's
a
how
club.
club, nightclub, the other club. That's how I felt
Yeah,
the
I'm
whole
exhausted.
weekend. Club, eat, adventures, beach, drink, eat, club,
Eat,
after club.
sleep, eat, sleep, drink.
Hardly no sleep. Hardly no
Yeah,
sleep for some of us. Hardly no sleep for
yeah.
some of us, including me. But we got by. I don't know how. Well, some days I was like, I'm running on fumes, but we got by. We got
I
by.
with me, I felt that with the heat, it would make me a little tired, but at the end of the day, it wasn't like so exhausting where I couldn't go out later on. But I will say, I've had the best sleep in this hotel. Shout out to Embassy Suites, San Juan. It's don't stalk me now. But it that this hotel like has been very accommodating and also like the like my bed was amazing. I slept like a baby.
No, yeah. I mean, the bed was comfortable for the hours I did for the hours I did sleep. I did enjoy the bed, and some days it was hard to get off. Like no, but at the same time, I didn't want to waste time with anyone, and there was things to do and stuff. So
Yeah.
it didn't happen. Unfortunately, I do have to report because we talked about it on the podcast. We spoke about how we were gonna get those tacos that me and Melanie was salivating over like 2 episodes ago here. Melanie unfortunately wasn't able to get it, but I did
Oh,
somewhere else. But you know what? Like we discussed over there, they didn't hit like the ones that we've gotten before. So
Good. I'm glad.
hateful.
From as a bitch.
But
What?
but yeah, it was. I mean, they were good, but it just wasn't the same. Like from the spot we went to, and then from La Doña del Barrio that we grew up around in. But wow, what would you say? I'm trying not to forget anything else, but what would you say was the highlight of the trip for you?
The highlight. Um. There's. I mean, so many parts. I want to say celebrating your brother's birthday, even though it wasn't a traditional like a birthday thing. We didn't really. I love the fact that we all dressed in white and we had the theme going on, like all white.
And people noticed.
Kiki's all white party. But I'm trying to think. Oh, my favorite part actually was all of us like just bonding and talking and catching up on the beach in Piñones. That was like literally my favorite part where everyone's just in the water, just cracking jokes and talking. Cause that's literally what I wanted to do. I didn't want a fucking itinerary of like, we gotta be here at 12 o'clock and then at 2 o'clock, we gotta go see this and like very touristy. I wanted to live life like
Mm.
a Puerto Riqueña, like how they do it here. Like, what do they do on a typical Saturday? Go to the beach, go eat at the stands in Piñones, and then get ready and go out at night at La Placita. I enjoyed La Placita. It was lit too. Jumping from place to place and getting drinks and stuff, that was great too. But I feel like the low key moments where we got to like just spend quality time around each other was my favorite. That was my high. My low, I could say my low. We could do Rose and Thorn. What was
I was
my
gonna go
thorn?
with the negative with a low because I don't know. I don't think there was
No,
low.
it's not a bad one. It's not a bad one. My thorn was just when the taco place was closed.
Oh yeah,
Because how fucking dare you say that you're open from Thursday to Sunday and you're not even open?
true that, true that.
Maybe
Um,
they didn't pay them rent. Who
for
knows?
me, no, but that's what I'm saying. Eso la cosa en Puerto Rico, like like the huts and stuff. And you, ever since I was little, I've noticed that it's like they run on like, I will fuck it. Like they'll open one day and the other day though, and it's like, come on now. But that's how they run over here. It's like, you know what I mean? Like if the store's not open, it's like, um,
Yeah.
but a high for me, my high. Oh my god, I don't. My high for me is that all my brothers were there. All five of my brothers showed up. Raymond,
Yeah, that was great.
that was a high for me that it was all five of us in Puerto Rico. Again, it doesn't happen a lot. Sometimes it's like two of us, three of us, or whatever, four of us. But the fact that all five of us was there, and my dad too, was a high, 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 high.
Yeah.
And then the friends added to like high. That's my high. That everyone was there. That everyone that had to be there by destiny was there.
Was
Um,
there. Yeah. Amen.
Low, I was gonna go low because there was nothing bad for me per se, but um, low.
The low was
Maybe
the heat.
no, not at all because that it was. I think the heat was fine, even compared to like a little before we got here. And I was telling that to anyone who heard today, like people who knew I was going to wear whatever.
Yeah,
Like the heat that was heating before we left was worse than Puerto Rico's heat. I'm
that
sorry.
is true.
So I took and even the sun and everything. Like I was thinking about it today, the way the sun hits me in Puerto Rico and stuff, it hits different than over here. Because I be trying to take pictures
Yeah.
of the sun over here, and I'm like, and then over there I'm glowing and all red, and I look all good. Shout out to my little tan. I may look a little dark. I'm peeling
Yeah,
though.
I feel like
I'm
I
peeling.
got I burned in my forehead and a little bit in my nose. I got some color because I instead of sleeping in like some people decided, and I'm not talking about nobody else, I'm talking about you. I decided to get up early, get breakfast, and then stay by the pool. Granted, it rained a couple times on me, but it would rain for 5 minutes and then the sun would come out.
It's an
Then an
island.
hour would pass and then it would rain for 5 minutes, the sun would come out. I was just like, what is this? But I did get some color, but I honestly would like to get more color.
We'll have a chance. But low wise, I think that we didn't get was able to get the tattoos. Although a bunch of us wanted to get some.
Oh yeah. I was
So
even, I'm not gonna lie, I even considered it. I thought about it and I was like, that would be
something
like a
small.
nice bonding
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Nah, I don't know. I don't know.
But I
I
guess
say,
that would be the
I
only
say yes
low.
to that, then I'll start saying yes to other things. No, I'm good.
That would be the only I guess low if I had to pick a low, but Puerto Rico was amazing.
It
We were
was.
able to experience new beaches as well. That's like one of my goals in life. Just not only well, first in Puerto Rico, I want to experience all the rios, all the like waterfalls, and like I sent you guys a thing in
Yeah.
our Puerto Rico chat yesterday. Goals, like absolute goals, different beaches. Like one of my favorite beaches is Piñones, and I will always go to Piñones because it's close by.
Mhm.
La Posita de Piñones, and it's just such a vibe. Like you literally sit there, could be there for hours in the water, just like we did. Like because it's such a vibe,
Yeah.
and the way the beaches. If y'all been to La Posita de Piñones, y'all know. If you know, you know. And it's such a vibe because it's not. You don't have the waves fucking throwing you everywhere because there's like a rock that breaks the ocean, I guess. You have to see it. We experienced a new beach, Las Ruinas, in Agua.
Aguadilla.
Yes, which was like an hour and a half away. But again, it was great to do and experience. It was beautiful, 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 beautiful. Then there was another one on our way to Piñones, our last day. I took a
I
picture
want
of it.
I want to go to Playa Crash Boat.
Um, that was Playa Vacía Telega, which we got to again experience. Besides me getting chased by a bee, literally getting chased by a bee, it was chasing me. I ran into the car.
It wasn't one. It was three.
How did I run into the car?
You ran like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yo,
Sonic the Hedgehog.
and I jumped in the basket like because it was literally following me. Literally, there was one, and then Brian's like, and I'm like, oh my god. But it was great to experience new beaches. That was like a highlight for me, and I'm very happy with that. Um,
Yeah.
again, us eating food. It was great. It was great. Puerto Rico was great. Um, Puerto Rico wins again. Puerto Rico
I love
wins
coming
again.
here. I know it's not enough to say that you love going somewhere when you only gone twice, but like just the environment, the ambiente, the like obviously the food, but also it's a lot more chill. I don't know how to explain it. Something about the Caribbean is so like I wish I could just live here by coastal, like not by coastal because it's the same coast, but like half of the year.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I always say Puerto Rico me cura el alma. Like for real, for
Yes.
real. Puerto Rico me cura el alma.
Yeah.
Even today, coming back to work, any other day I would have been like, oh, today I'm like, I just got, there's only one week left, and I'm I just got back. I'm good.
Yeah.
I've been gone for a
The
whole.
only the only thing I don't like though right now currently as I'm still here is the fact that there is a tropical storm Ernesto and it was happening today as I was working in the hotel and one thing I will say was kind of scary because everyone's phones kept going off with the emergency alerts and at one point the lights were flickering. Listen, it could be raining, but one thing I do not want is the power to go out. And luckily
And we
it
know
did
the Puerto
not.
Rico info. Yeah, we know the Puerto Rico light info structure down there is not the best. So
It's terrible, yeah.
yeah,
So luckily it didn't go out. God willing, it doesn't go out tonight. It doesn't seem like it's raining anymore, but we'll see. But yeah. And I one thing that I did enjoy was when we went to the Dominican restaurant. There's a lot of Dominicans here, by the way, which I
mhm.
find that to be kind of fascinating, but at the same time, I love how much they all get along
Yeah.
because clearly they don't do that in New York and they should. Um, I loved us taking the pictures in the back with like the Dominican flag and the Puerto Rican flag. That was so cute and special. I love that picture.
It
I
was
pinned
me
it.
too. Yeah, I have a bunch.
You did
Did I
it?
send them all to you? I
I
have a
think
bunch
so.
on my phone. Yeah.
It's
And
my new wallpaper.
we are giving, you know, como dice Bad
Pero
Bunny la canción de él, un preview, and we'll leave it at that. Pero Yeah, it was
I love
amazing.
being able
That's
to
awesome.
represent our. Wait, I was gonna say I love being able to represent our cultures and being like one with our countries.
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing. It was such an amazing trip, Puerto Rico. But real quick, we're gonna break it up before we get into our topic and something I've realized, especially with this trip. Um, but first, we're gonna have a little fun because we did this in Puerto Rico because of you at the beach, and I think we gotta do it again. We're gonna play a little game of word association or song
It
association,
was song association.
song association. We kind of did it in a different way. Oh, like finish the sentence or whatever game we did, like maybe last episode or the week before. But we're gonna do song association because that's one of the games we played at the beach, and it was fun. It was fun. We all had a ball, especially our last day together, Tuesday. Yes, well, Monday,
Yeah.
Monday. So, I have. I'll do three. You do three.
Sure.
Let's start.
I'm gonna Google.
Rematch. Since you lost, since I won the last one. Here we
You
go.
didn't win.
Yes, I did. Um, nuts.
My coconuts. You can put them in your mouth right now,
Technically,
right now,
no.
right now.
Coconuts and nuts
Nut,
are two different
yeah,
words.
no, nuts and cocoa nuts. It doesn't matter.
Y'all,
What other?
whoever's watching in the comments, did she get that? It's
Yeah,
coconuts
I
and the word
did.
nuts is two different things. Come on,
No,
someone
it doesn't
comment. We'll
matter.
give you that for now until someone chimes in. All right, your turn. Until someone chimes in and says if that's a win. Coconuts and nuts are two different words. Just because nuts is in coconuts. But all right, your turn.
Doesn't matter. Heels.
Heels.
Yeah, like heels. What women wear, shoes.
Oh wow,
Oh wow,
I'm
I
done.
got one.
I can't think of a.
The thing with me is that I think of a word and I know the song that I'm thinking about. Some of y'all, Flex, you guys just think of random words and elements and shit and can't even like back it up with the song. I consider that to be cheating.
And if you still can't get it yourself, it don't matter. The point is you gotta be strategic.
Well,
But I didn't get heels.
you
My
could have
turn.
said high heels on my tippies.
Let's see. Sun,
Sun,
like the
like
sun,
el sol.
and sol.
Black hole sun, won't you come? Wash the rain away. Soundgarden, Black Hole Sun.
All right, give me a
Do
word.
you like my ring that I got at El Yunque?
I know, right?
It's still gold.
You haven't had no green around.
No. All right, your turn. Does it have to be English or Spanish? I mean, could it be Spanish?
You can do a Spanish one, seeing how we just came back from Puerto Rico.
Difícil.
Se hace la difícil, pero se va.
I wasn't thinking that
I
song.
got it.
Okay, good job. There's so many other songs that he has with that word.
um, word red.
Word on the curb. I hate her, but I do like this song. Loving You is Red from Taylor Swift.
Oh, you use red. Okay, was that my third word for you? Okay, one word for me.
One word for you.
The last one, I guess. Yeah, because I gave you three, right?
Girl.
Girl, I can tell you've been crying and you need
Ah,
somebody to talk to. Girl,
that's the
you
same
know,
one you said last time.
I'm
I
your
wanted
girl,
you to say,
you're my girl. We're your girls. Don't you know that we love you?
bonus question. What was the song of this weekend?
I was gonna
What was the song?
thank you because I was gonna talk. In every trip,
Yeah.
whether it's a group of friends, whatever. There's always certain songs that you play a lot while there. And I was gonna bring that up. So thank you so much for that because I was just saying, what was some of our songs um that we
I
played
got
out
two.
on the trip? And one of the ones that we played a lot is Shout Out. And me and my
Shout out
brother
to
made
Flex.
remixes. We made techno remix together. Like we should do something. Go make some beats in Puerto Rico. If you know, you
Well,
know.
we find a studio where you can make some beats.
If you know, you know. But I've been a nasty girl.
Yeah,
I've been
it's
a nasty girl. I just need him right now doing the beats.
yeah.
Nasty Girl by Tinashe was one that we all of us.
Yeah, Nasty Girl by Tinashe. For me, the song that I had to repeat was Fuck This Club Up remix by Nicki
Oh
Minaj.
yeah, you did. But
I
yeah, Nasty
did. That was,
Girl.
and you twerk and spurt. Can you
Nasty
make
Girl
it
was
twerk?
definitely
And
one.
twerk?
But
Yeah.
it was fun. It was fun. Um, Now one of the things like going down to Puerto Rico that again it was cathartic for me in so many ways is just again there's a lot that like made it invigorated me as a person and everything that's going on. It's like the power of no, which
Amen.
boundaries come in. Obviously boundaries have to do when you talk about something like the power of no. And I know you and I discussed this a couple of weeks ago, and it's something that you had suggested to like talk about on the podcast. So I don't know if you want to start off with the power of no. I know you and I have
Mhm.
had discussions and where you feel at a point in your life where saying no to different things, it doesn't have to be specific. It's just many different things. The power of no stand for. So if you wanna take it away with that before I elaborate and give my
Sure. So for me, as I've gotten older, I've realized that no is a full sentence. If someone wants you to do something or ask you for something and you don't want to do it, just saying no should suffice enough. Unfortunately, there are people in this world that don't have the common sense or the consideration to leave it be, laissez faire. Um, and they need an elaboration or they need more than a no. I know people who, quote unquote, I consider friends, but I realize that, like, you can't really say no to them because they can't take no for an answer. And I don't like to be around people like that. I've declined trips, travel trips. I've declined hanging out dinners, going over to houses because I don't want to be around that energy. Additionally, you get to see the person for who they are when you see that they continuously cross your boundaries. If a person is uncomfortable and telling you no, I'd rather not, no, I'm okay, thanks, or I don't think that that's going to work for me, just fucking accept it. I don't understand why that's so hard for people to like comprehend. Whether it's a friend, a boyfriend, an ex-boyfriend, a girlfriend, a relative.
Guys, yeah, yeah. For me, like I'm again, as I like to sometimes something I've noticed is like I like to be a people pleaser, especially at work. In this past year, um, I don't want to get I'm open, but there needs to be some level of private citizenship sometimes. This past year, I learned at my past job the power of no. Um, and I'm thankful for some people that was like, no, like say no, like dude, because I like to please, especially at work and stuff. You know, I like to be a pleaser and be liked in a sense. But now things, I'm changing, and I noticed that I'm becoming more vocal with certain things. I'm becoming more vocal with, okay, I don't agree with this. I'm not gonna do that. No, work wise, but even with people, whether it could be anything. Oh, want to hang out thing? No, I don't know. Or there's sometimes like the maybe, but I also give like I don't know. It depends on this, but I'm very upfront with it. And even now, like coming back from this trip, again, there's been like a lot of renewance and a lot of clicking for me. And there's some I've had to put my foot down and stand 10 toes deep um, with certain things. I need to love myself. I need to care for me because at the end of the day, we all listen. People may love us, people may be behind us, but no one's gonna care for us and really ride for us like ourselves, and we have to do it for ourselves. And sometimes we're just too nice. There's some people that just are nice and are want to help and stuff. But I've had to sit back recently and just like figure out some things and look at some things where I'm like, no, absolutely not. And for example, I'm not gonna go too into details, but I had to like put boundaries and set some boundaries with some individuals in my life very recently, and it's like, no, I'm not gonna do this. I need you to do this, this, and this by this time because this is what I need to do. So I need you to do this. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean, but you know this X, Y, and Z. And I put there was a nugget that I put on our inner circle page. Remember, the nuggets are
Mm.
back exclusively on our inner circle page on Instagram, where you don't have to explain to people why you're putting up boundaries. You don't have to explain. You don't have to feel bad. You don't have to, you know what I mean? Like have remorse. Like especially explain to someone why you're putting up the boundaries. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Like part of me, there was a part that I'm like, oh, let me explain why. I think it's like, no, I don't need to
No.
explain why I'm putting up boundaries. It's just no, this is how it's gonna work. This is how we're moving. So let's go. You gotta respect my boundaries and how I'm showing up for myself. Because when you start putting up boundaries for people, people are gonna start respecting you, y'all. It's you are the person. You have to show up for yourself. Because if you don't put boundaries for yourself, it gives it. There's a certain word and it went out the way. It was right here. It basically it sets
It
the
allows
tone.
people
It sets
to,
the tone
yeah.
of how people are going to treat you. It sets the tone of how people are going to treat you and respect you. So put your motherfucking boundaries down. Don't be afraid. And that's even in new relationships. If you start dating someone new, this is a this is what I this is me. This is what I expect. Blah, boom, boom, boom. Because
I
how you
I
show up for go ahead.
I practice that with dating. And I set boundaries, and if you don't abide by them or like they're not something that you can comprehend, miss me with that bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. So, I definitely wanted to talk about that because I think a lot of people have a problem with no or feel bad that they say no. Listen, saying
Yeah.
no, you should not feel bad for saying no. And again, that's part of boundaries. You should not feel bad. And no one should feel bad because, and as you get old, I know sometimes it's hard to say no, and sometimes it's whether difficult, hard,
Depending on the
or
person.
even scary, depending on the person, depending on the situation, person. It could be scary. Some people have a hard time saying no, or are scared to say no because of whatever past trauma or whatever it may be. But it's something that you have to practice. And even if you've had those traumas of or fears of why you don't say no, it's something that you have to work on because as you get
Yeah.
older, it is important that you do differentiate. Tongue
Is
twister,
it
right?
differentiate?
Differentiate yes and no.
I have three reasons why saying no is important. So the first one is accommodate. When we say yes, when we really want to say no, this brings us a temporary false sense of peace, later be replaced with apprehension and resentment. We defer to the relationship with no regard for our power and ironically end up undermining the relationship in the long run. So basically, if you're constantly saying yes when you want to say no to a person, you start getting aggravated and angry, and that becomes very passive. And I fell in that line before, and it's not fun. Second one is attack. We often do this with those who we love the most, the ones we take for granted. We say no aggressively, stepping strongly into our power. but with no regard or attention to the connection with the other person. So that's what happens. Like after a certain while, you like take in something that you don't want to take, and you don't set a boundary. Then you release and you start unleashing and saying rah rah shit. I know I was privy to that this weekend. And then the last thing is avoid. We don't prioritize our personal power or the relationship. In other words, everybody loses. We dishonor ourselves and amp up for our own discomfort by leaving something unresolved and disrespect the other person by not providing them with an answer. I'm doing you a favor by telling you no straight up instead of leading you on and leading you to believe that I'm going to help you do something because I promised that I was going to help you with whatever, or I was going to do something for you, just for me not to do it. For that, I'd rather say no right away. So there's that.
Thank you. Yeah, there you go. The top three reasons for why I know it's very important, guys. Listen, here at the Inner Circle
That should
podcast,
have been a song. That should have
we,
been part of song association.
we like to give you guys advice and all that, and that's why we love doing this podcast as well. But we want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. We are actually, I thought it was gonna be more beat going into work and tired down, but I felt good this morning. I felt renewed. I felt renewed
Yeah.
this.
Well,
Like,
I can't wait to feel that way when I get home.
yeah, I felt
So we'll
renewed. I
see.
feel good, and I can't wait. We people be
I feel
talking.
like, honestly, I feel like I need a vacation from this vacation.
Well, say it loud enough to God, and who knows. We thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, all our stuff. Follow us on our Instagram. If you don't follow us on our Instagram, you are missing out. Exclusively only on Instagram, you have my nuggets. There's so much news and everything we put up there. So please follow us on our Instagram, share it, and then stream this, share it on iHeart, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your favorite streaming services. We are back next week, every Wednesday, like we always do. Thank you guys so much. We're taking our 10 asses out of here. Adios. We love y'all.
Bye.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to follow, like, share, subscribe, everything the Inner Circle podcast. And catch us every Wednesday live at 8 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook.